Unless you live under a rock, you've probably heard this song before. Even if you don't know the name, if you're a fan of anime, you're more than likely familiar with the tune. Performed by Yoko Takahashi and produced by Toshiyuki Omori and Hidetoshi Sato, A Cruel Angel's Thesis is regarded as one of the best and most iconic anime songs of all time. You can find it playing in supermarkets, ramen shops, and karaoke booths at the top of someone's lungs. A Cruel Angel's Thesis has become as intertwined in Japanese culture as Mount Fuji or sushi. A Cruel Angel's Thesis isn't the only song to reach global levels of popularity, though. Unravel from Tokyo Ghoul, Attack on Titan's Gurren no Yumiya, and a more recent example being Idol from Oshi no Ko. Anime songs, or Anisong for short, have been consistently topping charts in Japan for years now, and every year the artists and songs gain more and more recognition. But that wasn't always the case. Starting in the 60s and the 70s, anime OPs were made specifically for the show itself, sometimes consisting of a little jingle all the way to a full-length piece. Anime songs weren't nearly the giants they are today. It wasn't until the 80s that the quintessential anime OP began to emerge. Japan's economy was booming, and that meant the anime industry was booming too. Going into the 80s, anime songs had begun to see a spike in popularity. So much so that artists outside of the anime industry began performing these songs. Ai Oboete Imasu Ka, which was released for the show Macross, was such a hit that it charted at number 7 on the Oricon Weekly Singles Chart. And the 1983 show Cat's Eye received huge amounts of media attention for featuring Japanese city pop star Andy for its theme song. The 90s were also an explosive year for Anisong genre. As we mentioned before, A Cruel Angel's Thesis was released this decade, and it pretty much solidified the Anisong genre as a serious and real music genre. Music labels were also being created exclusively for anime music, most notably King Records' Starchild label. Alongside this, we saw a major shift in how anime music was produced. Voice actors, normally known for, well, voice acting, were starting to take on the roles of singing alongside their voice acting. This crossover between voice acting and singing gave birth to a new breed of talent, the voice actor-singer. Yes, that's actually what they were called at the time. Suddenly, the people bringing our favorite characters to life were now the ones singing the opening and ending to our favorite animes, mixing their vocal talents with their on-screen personas in a way that was groundbreaking for the industry. This fusion of entertainment not only captured the hearts of Japanese fans, but also laid the groundwork for anime music to reach far beyond Japanese shores. As the years went on, the appeal of Anisong grew exponentially, crossing language barriers and connecting with global audiences who found something unique and refreshing in these songs. Today, anime music is a global phenomenon, influencing not just anime fans, but influencing pop culture all around the world. Countless artists have found huge commercial success after their songs were used in anime. Myth and Roid, for example, released their first song, LLL, in 2015, and it was used in the anime Overlord. Since the release of LLL, Myth and Roid blew up not only in Japan, but with Western audiences as well, with their songs being featured in anime such as Isekai Quartet, Boogie Pop and Others, Cautious Hero, Made in Abyss, Isekai Cheat Magician, Overlord, Arc Knights, and ReZero. Just to name a lot, actually. Personally, Myth and Roid has become one of our favorite artists from Japan, and we first discovered them through anime. Myth and Roid is far from the only group we've discovered since watching anime. Nanamo Akari is my personal favorite. Her first song to be featured in an anime was titled One Room Sugar Life, and was featured as the OP for the anime Happy Sugar Life. This single peaked at number 33 on Oricon's weekly charts and charted for 9 weeks, helping slingshot her career forward and opening doors to performing tons more songs for anime. This is a great example of how much influence a single song can have on someone, and how a single piece of music can launch an artist from unknown to superstar basically overnight. With the growing popularity of anime today, it's no wonder that the Anisong genre is booming. Many of the artists we know and love today wouldn't even be on our radar if it wasn't for watching anime. It's also thanks to anime that these artists can continue to pursue a career in music. Having your music featured in a popular anime or an anime at all doesn't just bump your Spotify monthly listeners number a bit. It helps drive album sales, sell tickets, merch, and brings in an entirely new audience who otherwise might not have ever heard your music before. It's not just a single song or an artist that you might discover either. Sometimes it's an entire music genre. Back in 2018, I was still new to anime, and when I decided to watch Future Diary, while opinions on the show itself vary, one thing most people can agree on is how much of a banger its OP Kuso Mesorogiwi by Yosei Teikoku was. That song didn't just introduce me to the artist, it introduced me and us to a whole new world of music genre. Japanese symphonic metal. Yosei Teikoku, Unlucky Morpheus, Imperial Circus, Dead Decadence have become everyday listens for us both. And that's really the beauty of anime music. It has the ability to open doors to new sounds, styles, and even entire musical movements that you might have never stumbled across otherwise. For many anime fans, it's not only just a soundtrack, it can become a step back in time. Anime music and nostalgia are inseparably tied together, creating an emotional experience that transports listeners back to a specific moment in time. Anime openings and endings often use sentimental melodies, warm instrumentation, and bittersweet lyrics that reflect themes of longing, dreams, and memories, just like nostalgia itself. Whether it's the upbeat energy of a shonen opening or the melancholy beauty of your favorite romance, anime music taps into that familiar ache of looking back at something meaningful that can never be fully recaptured, yet always remains as a part of us. And I really think that not a single song captures this feeling more than Sobakasu. Sobakasu is the OP for the 1996 series Rurouni Kenshin. The first time I heard Sobakasu, I was sitting in a ramen shop in Kyoto in 2019. I was with my buddy Corporal, and the song on the speakers was an absolute earworm. Only when I came back from my trip and began reminiscing on the time in Japan and all the memories I'd made did I realize how fitting that song was, and how quite literally memories can tie themselves to music. Music in general plays such an integral part of our memories. And I'm glad anime is a medium that understands that. It's able to capture memories and emotions unlike anything else. Whether it be sadness, happiness, excitement, or dark times in our lives, anime and its soundtracks will always be a part of them. For the both of us, there are 3 specific animes that have captured all of those emotions and taken us on a journey with just the music alone. The first one being Odd Taxi. The best way to describe the Odd Taxi OST is probably a serious goofiness. We have idle songs, a rapping porcupine, funny tuba, and songs that hit so emotionally hard that they have you contemplating your existence, and yet all in this packed into a show about an overweight, blunt, mundane taxi driving walrus. We are first hit with the OP when you start Odd Taxi. The best way I can describe this song is something you would listen to while driving down the road, arm hanging out the window and one hand on the wheel, just enjoying the drive. It's catchy, it's chill. If you go into this having no idea what the show is about, you might think it's a boring show about a walrus who drives a taxi for some reason. Most of the main characters have their own theme songs, and they do an amazing job at portraying what kind of character they really are, and without even really getting to know them. Yano's theme, for example, gives the feeling of someone who is conniving and up to no good, while the Homo sapiens theme does a complete 180 and you are suddenly understanding why this could be a theme to a group called the Homo sapiens. Nichijou A feels like you live an average life and everything is on repeat, but Nichijou B feels like you are constantly looking over your shoulder while trying not to alert whoever is watching you that you know they're watching you. Returning the Favor is a song that makes you want to reflect on your life and really think about who you are and what kind of person you want to be. Every theme in this show is covered by the music, and I really don't think it could have done it any better than how it did. While Odd Taxi portrays a vast array of music genres and themes, the next show isn't as diverse genre-wise, but musically, it is quite literally a masterpiece. One of the most unforgettable soundtracks in any anime has got to be Made in Abyss. Produced by Australian composer Kevin Penkin, if you have seen Made in Abyss, you understand what we mean when we say that the soundtrack mirrors the visuals and fits the themes to the show perfectly. For this show, Kevin worked very closely with the director Masayuki Kojima and the sound director to make sure the music and visuals were in sync and played off of each other to create a cohesive and stunning audio-visual image. Kevin's music is powerful. It is vast, just like the abyss. It makes you feel small and helpless at times, again, just like the abyss. Our characters are faced with the daunting task of traversing this giant hole in the ground, knowing that after a certain point, they can never return to the surface. Despite all of this, they venture forward into the unknown, all while the soundtrack mirrors exactly what you're watching. While we both thought the first season soundtrack was a pure masterpiece, I think where the show really shines musically is the second season. My personal favorite song is San Ken, The Three Sages. This song, out of any other soundtrack in the entire anime, I feel portrays the series of Made in Abyss the very best. This is just one example from Kevin that portrays this raw emotion. If you haven't watched the show or didn't pay attention to the soundtrack, I highly encourage you to either rewatch the show or listen to the soundtrack on your own time. You won't regret it. The final OST we would like to talk about is the Clannad OST. I don't think there's a single anime and soundtrack that works as cohesively as Clannad does. I won't spoil it or go into the plot of the show, but it's definitely up there as one of the saddest animes ever, and the soundtrack matches the vibe to a T. Every time I hear certain songs, they bring back a flood of emotions, almost like Stockholm Syndrome with a soundtrack. Clannad's songs do such an amazing job of helping aid the story. When Tomoya is going through something difficult, the music helps amplify his emotions and makes it easier for us, the viewer, to understand his feelings. Both OPs match the show perfectly. The first one starts off slow and has a more somber tone that transitions into something more upbeat, reflecting the first half of the show. From our cast being complete strangers to becoming a massive friend group, the song follows the storyline. The second OP starts off with a somber tone yet again, but is considerably more upbeat. It crescendos into a vibrant chorus with almost dreamy vibes. The song ends with a decrescendo into a quiet piano part, again mimicking most of the second season. Every episode ends with a touching song called Dango Daikazoku. This song is the one that kind of hurts both of us the most to listen to, but it's a damn good song. It encapsulates the theme of Clannad perfectly. Family. Anime music has played a pivotal role in the Japanese music industry. Countless artists have found huge success over the years, and I'm certain there will be many more to rise in the industry. From hardcore OPs to somber EDs, anime has no shortage of music for people to enjoy. And after decades of growth and validity, Anisan has proven that it's going to be around for a very, very long time. Hey guys, thank you for watching today. I know it's been a while since we put out a video. We've just been busy with stuff. There's been a lot of things going on, but if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share to all your friends who not only like anime, if they don't like anime, if they like music, if they don't like music, send it their way. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.